All right. A couple things to talk about today. One of the topics that we are so hot and heavy on in co-living, especially in the PadSplit space right now, is about occupancy. And as we continue to find challenges in terms of filling rooms as fast as we used to, because guess what? Other people are finally hearing about co-living and the financial impacts and the financial benefits of operating a co-living property and making it a business inside of a real estate. So this niche is growing probably faster than any other niche. Everything that I see on my Instagram and my Twitter and my, do we even call it Twitter, X, on TikTok and YouTube, the world of Airbnb, it's really hard right now, right? It's really hard across all real estate. I have friends that are real estate investors that have long-term rentals. They're giving 2 to 3 month concessions just to get into rent. If you look at rental data from across the country, especially in large Sunbelt cities where a lot of our properties and a lot of our investors that are doing pad splits and co-living, that's where their portfolios are listed and found. Those same hosts, now they're facing macro economic problems, such as rents. Rents are being compressed, and that's a real thing. So if you have a large city like Austin or Atlanta or Dallas, and you're starting to see, well, market operations for rental properties in the apartment multifamily world, you're seeing 2 to 3 months of concessions just to get people to rent, let alone extend tenure. Now, in our space, we, for the longest time, for years since I've been here, have almost been immune to this idea of like, hey, real rents that are going on in the world, they don't really impact us because our member base, they need us, right? And that's kind of always been this underlying theme, is that like we don't have to adjust pricing. We don't have to stay on top of what's actually going on in market trends. Reality check, this is actually what we're seeing right now, is that we have hosts that are looking at longer than average days to fill. So their concern is on the occupancy side. Well, I get it. And there's a whole bunch of things that you can do in order to optimize your listings. And if you're interested in learning more specifically from me around some of the tips and tricks that I utilize to get my listing from page 7, page 14, all the way up to page 1 and 2, even though I have a $50 discrepancy in price around me and all my competitors, just DM me, email me, DM me, ask me, and reach out to me and see if I can help you. In terms of coaching and helping you get your listings more visible. That's one thing. The other part about it is let's have some reality in terms of how we're operating and managing our businesses. If we are not looking at this business from a, hey, it's only the top side of where we're looking at bookings and bookings and bookings, what are you doing on the bottom side of the funnel? That's one of the biggest conversations I'm having with hosts. If you keep losing members out the front door because A, you're not putting on a good member experience, like, let's be real frank about this. Like some of the rooms on our platform, they don't really match what the picture looks like. And you hear me talk about it all the time. It's your Tinder listing. If you've got your sexiest, best looking, most fit version of your room when you first onboarded that bad boy and you had a professional photographer go out and take a photo, now it's like 2 or 3 years later, and you're ugly and you're missing some teeth. You're missing a nightlight. You got a hole in the wall. You've got 2 different colors of shade of paint in the wall. Tinder. Your room listing is not what the member's moving into, and they keep moving out. Why are you wasting these valuable at-bats with bookings that are being sent to your house, and you are wasting those opportunities? So figure that out, first of all. Let's take a real hard look at ourselves and say, am I putting out a really good product that people want to rent? And does the product that I'm marketing, a la on my listing description and the pictures that I put out, does it actually match what my customers and my clients are going to experience when they get there? That's the first thing. Don't waste the at-bats. The second thing, your tenants that are in your properties right now, what systems do you have in place to keep them there? Because as we get into this next quarter between October, November, December, January, February, the one thing you're going to start hearing a ton of is seasonality. We didn't make this stuff up. Seasonality is real. It impacts everybody from multifamily to long-term rentals to single family to your neighbors. right? Like this is real. Seasonality is going to hit. It's going to impact our business. Bookings are going to slow down. Why? Because it's cold and nasty and dreary and people aren't really eager to move, or they're kind of nestled in and they're comfortable and they want to be here all the way through the holidays. What systems do you have in place that, one, you engage with your customers to actually ask the question, hey, how are we doing? Are we providing you the member experience? Are we providing you the living situation that you thought you were going to get? How do we extend the tenants that we currently have in place? So if you have a house that is 4, 5, 6, 7 people in it, in a 7, 8 bedroom house, how are you going to keep those while you continue to improve your listing to get more bookings? But if you keep losing members out the back door or the front door because they're not having a really good member experience, your occupancy is never going to get to 90, 85, 90, 100%. Your job as an operator is to keep the people in the house that are paying you for as long as possible. And almost one of the most simple little tips and tricks that I'll give you, ask your members, hey, how you doing? I provide a QR code, which is just no different than like the Atlanta airport. When you go to the bathroom, there's a little, customer survey about happy faces to sad faces. That's essentially what I did. I created a QR code that says, tell me how we're doing. Do you have suggestions that would make your experience here better? Because here's what you don't realize. People will leave without telling you what's wrong. And then you're going to be so pissed off when they fill out their move out survey and they're like, like it was really, the cleaning wasn't done very well. Or the person that they said had a monthly cleaning didn't really show up. You didn't know that. You could have addressed that. You could have taken care of that. They would have stayed. Or something as simple as like the washing machine never really got hot. Or the dryer never really dried. These are things that you would have gladly, easily replaced. $300 or $400, and then that member stays for another 4, 5, 6 months. Don't assume your members are happy. Get back to the idea that we're running hospitality. If you're listening to me, that probably means, and you're on this channel, which, by the way, like I have thousands of people watching videos and no one is subscribing. So evidently I need to ask, like, subscribe to the channel. So it helps, so I can put more content out there. But fundamentally, at the end of the day, if your customers are leaving for reasons that you don't know, that's how businesses die. Come on, guys. We're running operational businesses inside the 4 walls of our real estate investment. And that's what gives us this extra juice of co-living revenue. But if you're not managing your business, then you have no idea what's going on. So get into your customers, send out a simple Google survey. How are we doing? What can we do to improve? What do we do really well? Accentuate those things. What can we improve on? Actually answer those things. I'll give you a really quick example. I had a house meeting a couple of weeks ago, and one of the members brought up, hey, our house is really dark at night. And it's mostly women that live in the house. And they're like, look, when we park the car, sometimes there's a lot of garbage outside. There's a big ass raccoon in the neighborhood and it freaks us out. Do you mind putting some kind of spotlight or some kind of motion detector light? Not a problem. So on the following Sunday, I went out there and installed 2 motion sensor lights that are solar powered. And it just makes them happier, right? Like that's such an easy fix. The other thing, same story, is different member inside the house says, hey, I work really late at night. So when I come in, all the lights are out, which I really appreciate since I cover all the utilities. And they were like, would you mind putting some night lights in? And my initial reaction was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, if you guys rented an apartment, you'd get your own night light. And then as I was driving home, I'm like, all right, is that really a big thing? Because the default setting is they're just going to leave the lights on. I was like, all right, let me just go on Amazon, found a 4-pack of night lights that are motion censored for $17. I got 1 for each floor. So I got 4 on the first floor, 4 on the lower floor, $34. Maybe that $34 keeps 2 members in my house for an additional 3 or 4 months. No brainer. Should have slapped myself for not even thinking the opposite. But these are the little lessons that we put in our back pocket and we make them SOPs so that when we build portfolios, this is the experience that I want my customers to receive and expect to receive, because I make my living on referrals. I want members to have such a good time that they're referring their friends and their coworkers, and they're bragging about hashtag rent smarter. So it works on the host side as well. Hashtag rent smarter. So keep coming back. I'll keep putting content out there for you guys. If you have any additional things that you want to talk about, put them in the comments. That way I'll answer them. Thanks so much.